You are listening to the Masculine Mindset Show, a podcast for introverts to get more confidence, more importantly, more self-worth, and of course, get more fit. Women are a side benefit. More importantly, I turn nice guys into bad motherfuckers. Let's get into the content. You fucking legend. Masculine Mindset Show. It's Adam Skoda back on with Shane. By the way, I want to make an announcement to my listeners. This man created a podcast. Is it Dating for Bloomers, right, Shane?
Dating for late bloomers, yeah.
Dating for late bloomers.
Yeah, anywhere you get your podcast, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, thanks, man.
So, I want to basically praise this guy for doing that because that's fucking awesome, dude. That's fucking awesome. And really, this whole idea of getting a masculine mindset fast. Okay, so the whole point here is a lot of guys don't realize that masculinity is about fighting through the hardships of life. And what I've come to realize throughout my life, Shane, is adversity introduces a man to his highest self. That's so profound. I want to say that one time because this is a quote. I actually heard it from a very wise. Was it like, I don't know who said it, but it was a very old philosopher. But anyways, I want to say that one more time to my listeners. Adversity introduces a man to his highest self. And I said that on my episode 10x Your Masculinity and Destroy the Nice Guy Syndrome. So the point to this topic is to help guys get through anything. You can get through anything. Like I really want to encourage all you guys out there to listen to this episode. Like don't freaking skip any fucking second. Listen to what Shane has to say. Listen to what I have to say because I have a lot to say about this. I have a whole book in the works. There's a whole section in it called Fighting Through the Hardships of Life. So, what do you have to say about this topic, Shane?
Well, it's so true. To kind of tell a quick story about, about 5 years ago, I went through a really, really hard breakup. I'm not gonna lie to you, it crushed the hell out of me. I mean, I was leaning on my friends. Luckily, I processed a lot of the feelings, but it still took a long time. I went to therapy. I really just took a step back from dating, which was the first time I did that for a while. Because normally after a breakup, I just dive back into the apps or the singles events or whatever, and that can be okay sometimes. But you got to give yourself time to heal and process. And going to therapy was amazing, and it really, really put me in perspective. And then this was late 2019, early 2020, and of course, COVID happened, and all these things. And I was thinking about it the other day. I was talking with a friend just last night. If it wasn't for that breakup and all that stuff that I went through, I wouldn't be on this path now that I'm on now. I joined men's groups. I got into men's work. I eventually joined a dating program. That's where I met Adam, about a year after that. And now I have my own men's group. I have my own podcast, self-development, trying to grow in comfort zone. So there's different sayings about hard times show your true self. That's not the exact quote, but it's something kind of like what you just said, Adam. But you gotta, if you're always in your comfort zone, you're never, it's good. There's nothing wrong with a comfort zone. We should all have a comfort zone, but you never grow if you're in your comfort zone at all times. You got to try different things. You got to go through hard things, and life is going to kick in the ass. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's going to happen. And do you know the difference between responsibility and fault? So, if someone runs into you in a car accident, that's not your fault, but how you respond, that's your responsibility. So it's all about how you react to things. So
Yeah, man. So you guys, I want to mention something about what Shane said. And look, honestly, that's inspiring, man. I'm glad that
Mm-hmm.
you have come a very long ways, and
Mm-hmm.
just keep your head up high, man, because we all go through some shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to say what I went through, right? I actually did a podcast with Hannah Spanky called "How to Demonstrate Vulnerability," and on that episode, I talked about how basically I was held down by some nurses. I want to say 16 or 15 years old for them to do some blood work, and I didn't I kept basically rejecting everything that they were trying to offer me, and then by then they they went out of their way to to fucking put me down on the floor and like pin me down to the floor, and it was traumatic for me. And the reason I bring that up, you guys, again, is to tell you guys that this is where I came from. I was 15 years old. I was very much in the hospital, like I said on that episode, How to Demonstrate Vulnerability. But the doctors misdiagnosed me, as I said on that episode too. They gave me the wrong diagnosis, and then I got out of the hospital, got fucking 10 times better, and I started working out like crazy. I became a personal trainer. I started changing people's lives because I love fitness. Guys, I will always come back to fitness. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, I thought looks doesn't matter." We'll get to that in a different conversation. But the point is this, you guys, that is, if you want to get a masculine mindset fast, like I say, remember those hard times, because those hard times, your deepest wound is where you find your purpose, and that's really fucking key, isn't it, Shane? That your deepest wound is where you find your purpose.
Yeah. I mean, I'm processing that statement. Yeah, it really makes you look into yourself and like what it puts things in perspective, because a lot of things don't matter. So and so didn't call you back, or your Starbucks order got messed up. Does that really matter in the end? No. 10 years from now, that's not going to matter. It comes down to what really matters, like the relationships, what you're doing, what do you bring into the world? Are you just a taker? Do you give? You know, because I truly believe that if you give and give and give, don't be like a nice guy, a nice girl, and just roll over. But if you give, it will return back to you in kind and in time. So, yeah, kind of like what you just said with my going through all the stuff I went through. I got into men's work, and then now I'm doing a podcast, and I'm trying to become a dating coach. So I wouldn't even be here if I didn't go through all that. I'd probably just be in my comfort zone doing my thing, like a lot of people do, just kind of settling for the comfort. So,
Yeah, guys, the comfort zone is a killer of life.
yeah,
I could go
yeah.
on a tangent, but I don't think I'm going to do that because I have so many episodes where I do go on a tangent. Just, guys, listen to this. Is the one time where I'll say, find my podcast where it's called Why Men Must Have a Dark Side with Mike from The Courageous Man. We both know Mike.
Mm-hmm. He's a legend.
Yeah, he's a fucking legend. BJJ black belt.
Good God.
Love that guy. Love that guy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I want to give the guys some tactics to kind of like basically improve their self-talk, you know, because when life throws you a shit sandwich, as my man Mark would say at the UMP. Mark listens to my show. I'm going to shout him out here. So yeah, Mark, I love you. All right,
What's
so
up, Mark?
yeah, here's what I have in my book, you guys. Okay, this is my upcoming book on getting a masculine mindset. Again, you guys, getting a masculine mindset fast. Positive self-talk when shit hits the fan. Positive self-talk when shit hits the fan. So I have these affirmations in this book, right? I love myself. I forgive myself. I am masculine. I love myself. I have self-compassion. I have a masculine mindset. I love myself. I have a manly vibe. I am my own hero. And last one, I love myself. I am powerful. I have masculine energy. And you say that when shit really gets you down. You just say that to yourself on repeat. So if there's any tactics that you think would benefit my listeners to basically get through anything when life throws them a shit sandwich, you know?
Well, a couple things there. Yes, I like the one you were said, compassion and forgiving yourself. Those are very important. I have to kind of go through that with my stuff. Forgiving another person or trying to, and forgiving myself. Give yourself compassion. We're all gonna make mistakes. The next thing is, I think most of your listeners are men, but women know how to do this a lot better than men. But men, for the guys listening, it's okay to feel your feelings. Feel those feelings. If you don't, that's when you get screwed up, and that's when it blows up, and then you either break down or you blow up, or God knows what else. Feel those feelings, lean on friends, lean on family, go to therapy, cry, punch a punching bag, scream into a pillow, whatever it takes, that's what I did. I just try to let it out as much as I can. And women are so good at that. Men, we're getting better at that. But so just really have that compassion for yourself, feel those feelings, let the feelings pass through you. And this goes for either big stuff or even just small stuff. When you're at work and you're thinking about whatever it is, so-and-so didn't call you back, or you get angry at your boss or whatever, recognize that feeling, acknowledge it, let it pass through, and then just keep going. And I know that's easier said than done, trust me, but it's been proven that if you just think about other positive things, you will feel better, So hope that helps, Adam. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys, I became extremely apathetic towards everyone when I went through this breakup.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly distanced myself. I not only distanced myself, I went dark, Shane. I went really dark. I
Mm-hmm.
I I went into grief almost. I poured all my grief into my book. So if you, again, I'm really hyping this up, but you know what, you guys, I want you guys to get my fucking book when it comes out on Amazon. But not only did I go through grief, I in a way I kind of disassociated myself from my emotional side. And what Shane's saying here, you guys, is I do want to acknowledge that you guys do have that part of you that feels emotions. Or you can do what I suggest on my blog, but I'm going to let you know now. This is extremely dark, and you should really check in with your morals when I give this tip to all of you guys. So I'll just say it. All right. So this article I recently wrote. This is the title of the article, Shane. It's called "How to Become Emotionally Unavailable."
Mm-hmm.
How to become emotionally unavailable. So, here's what you do, you guys. Okay. Transmutation through attention meditation. Alright? So, here's what I do here. Close your eyes when you feel those emotions surface up. Now, here's what you do for this meditation. You feel those emotions come out to the surface. Pay close attention to those emotions. Monitor those emotions very carefully. Allow them to come through during the meditation. Don't fight your emotions during this meditation. Now, sit. Those are the 5 steps, and then you just sit there with it. Sit there with it. You watch that emotional side that you have. So now, you sit for an extra 5 minutes, and then you do transmutation through attention again. Comes into play, right? Here's what you do. I suggest you listen to Brain FM. I'll sponsor this podcast by Brain FM. Brain FM is basically binaural beats, real binaural beats. and it has sleep tracks, relaxation tracks, and meditation tracks. And so, listen to Brain FM, monitor your emotional side.
Hmm.
Pay close attention to it. And here's the last step where it's actually we're getting into some dangerous territory here because this is Adam being having his twisted dark mindset again. Okay, monitor your emotional side, like I said, pay attention close to it. Now disassociate yourself from those emotions. Okay? Now, like I said, do that with caution, check in with your morals. And as I said in my article, the very last step to becoming emotionally unavailable is you become apathetic towards your emotions. So, there's my dark, twisted mindset. You can do what Shane said, you can do what I said. It's dark, it's fucking crazy, but go. I mean, do whatever you want, you guys. But I'm letting you know now. I've done that, and I'm telling you from experience. I went dark, and I became cold towards a lot of people. So
Hmm.
go ahead and do what you want there with that information, but just understand that it's dark. It's not for everyone. It's unorthodox. Actually, I have an episode called "An Unorthodox Way to Move On from Previous Relationships." If you wanted to hear Adam kind of going a little crazy, check that one out. But yeah, that's kind of like my spiel here. Go ahead and let me know your thoughts on that, Shane.
Well, I'll admit I haven't really done much meditation. I mean, I've done a little bit of it, but I want to get into meditation. I think it would really help me and anybody. I've heard such good things about it over the, from multiple people. Even if you just do 3 to 5 minutes a day, which isn't. I mean, let's be real. Most of us can find 5 minutes, right, to do that morning or night or whatever it is, lunch break, and just helps to reset and really uh, helps you feel, like I said, all that stuff that's circling in your head. You try to sort it out. Another technique I've read about a lot is doing what's called a mind dump, where right before bed you just journal or write down on your phone or whatever it is. Think about all the crap that you have to do, want to do, didn't get done, that's worrying you, whatever it might be. Write it down, and it's almost like a release. Like you're just acknowledging it, and it no longer has that power over you, and you can hopefully lay down and go to sleep a lot easier than, because I think we've all been in that place where you lay down and you just can't, your mind doesn't turn off and you can't sleep, you know. So those are good techniques. Also, just like Adam said, fitness, working out, or even just doing some stretches or some yoga. I think a lot of people, I've been realizing how much even just stretching, what that can do for you, and that can only take, a few minutes. So those are things that I either want to do or have done in the past. So
Yeah, I guess I had an episode called Five Easy Ways to Train Your State of Mind. And in that episode, I talk about yoga, I talk about
mhm.
bioenergetics, I talk about doing burpees as well. In this group I'm in, GP Penitentiary Community, Wes Watson he's he runs that group, and oh my god, I got the fucking shit. It's honestly, Shane, I between you and me, I'll say this to you really really quick.
Mhm.
Every time I talk about like certain groups that I am in, that particular group changed my life, dude. It changed my fucking life. And we do journaling. We do a lot of journaling. We all do journaling before you go to bed, journaling when you wake up in the morning, and 100 burpees, dude. Like we and and you guys, some of you hear that, you're like thinking, "Holy shit, that's crazy." Well, you guys, I'm fucking psychotic, so get used to it. But the whole point that I want to say about this is if you look up Wes Watson, you'll see what I mean. That yeah, like in that community, we all have a ton of people that just has like a powerful dark side, like a powerful drive within us to basically push fucking forward. But I want to tell you guys something about this, that is your dark side is an essential part of you. It just is. Again, with Mike, why every man must have a dark side, that episode, I think that getting a masculine mindset fast is basically you journaling, as Shane was saying, but also fighting through the hardships of life, as we were talking about earlier. But more importantly, um, don't fight your emotions, as Shane was saying. You do have that part of you that is emotional. And if there's anything else that I'm missing, let me know, Shane.
Really, I talk about this in one of my podcasts, having a good support system. And I mean, maybe you'll disagree with this, maybe not, but I think it's important for everybody to have a good support system, but at least having one good friend of the opposite sex, I think is important. Not family. I mean, family is fine, but just make sure you have a good support system, because if you don't have much going on in your life with friends or just hobbies, activities, purposes, whatever, if you find someone to date, you're going to put all your emotional needs on that person, and that's not going to end well. So having a good support system is just so important. And you have no idea, Adam. I've talked to women and they tell me it's really unattractive when men don't have like any friends or have like, or and the opposite is true. I've talked about my men's work and stuff, and they love hearing that men are doing that they're having support system, they're relying on each other, they're pushing each other. So to the guys listening, really just find good men, find a men's group in your city, go to meetup.com, start your own men's group, or just go to like a local gym and like pick up basketball. I mean, there's tons of ways to find people, and especially find some good guys to do things with and be men, and just have a good support system. And for the ladies out there, same thing. I mean, there's tons of women's groups. Any kind of hobby you can think of, there's something out there on Meetup or on Google. Eventbrite. I mean, there's tons of websites you can find things going on in your city, and just find some great people, and you'll make friends too. So it's so easy. It's easier said than done, but it is easier than you think. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say, Adam.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, in my book where I talk about basically getting higher levels of masculinity, Shane is 100% correct on that, you guys. Mm-hmm. You want to have a brotherhood in every area of your life, as I say in that book. Have a brotherhood, you guys. And actually, I'm going to shout out Mark once again. Love that guy. I will always support that guy. Look, you guys, go listen to the Unapologetic Man podcast. Just go fucking listen to it, okay? Because that man saved my butt, okay? I'll just tell you guys a brief story to kind of like how I came across Mark. Marnie referred me to him. And I have not come out with that story yet, but now I have. So another thing about that, you guys, is I went through a very traumatic relationship, and Mark literally pulled me out of that dark place. And so that traumatic relationship was the most toxic relationship I was ever in my life. Ever. If you guys want the definition of crazy, date an Italian woman with daddy issues. But all right, so the point behind that is to tell you guys, you have these options to listen to the Unapologetic Man, listen to Ask Women podcast, listen to Date for Late Bloomers with Shane, listen to my show. Yep. Shane and I were even talking about Trip Kramer as well before the podcast, before I started rolling on the podcast. And How to Talk to Girls, I mean, that's a good podcast too, you guys. But the whole point here is to, like, even regardless of all that girl shit, like, understand that it does stem down to the fact that you, my friend, even though I say follow your own lead, on my podcast. That doesn't mean become a fucking lone wolf and isolate.
Yes. The lone wolf dies, the pack survives.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I have a group, you guys, called Masculine Mindset Community. Masculine Mindset Community. Okay? So we want to get a masculine mindset fast. Here's what you do. Get into Brotherhood, reach out to mentors, because I'm going to tell you guys something. Even though I know you think, oh, these people are like fucking gurus, I don't give a fuck. I do not fucking care. What I have to say about that is get your head out of your own ass, because the only reason that you're afraid to invest in yourself is because you wouldn't be listening to my podcast unless if you related to me on some level. So if you don't want to invest in yourself, that is honestly fear. And what's fear, Shane? Feminine energy, isn't it?
I guess I'm not. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
I guess anxiety or neuroses. I guess. Yeah.
Well, anxiety is one thing, but
Yeah.
fear is like you're running away from your problems. You get me? So you face your problems, is what I'm saying.
I guess. Yeah. But I mean, men have fear too. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So the whole point behind that statement, you guys, is to not be so afraid of the unknown and to pull the trigger and like reach out to coaches that want to help you, because you guys, any person out there that puts out good shit, they want to fucking help you. They just want to fucking help you, no matter what.
One thing I wanted to say, it's okay to have fear. Everybody has fear. The difference is, like I said, going back earlier, how you react. If you face those fears, a lot of times you'll find that they're not that scary and that you can overcome anything if you dive in. Another thing I wanted to say real quick, you made me think of, Adam, is I talk about on my podcast with my partner Daniel. Him and I are working on this stuff in real time with everybody. Like, him and I are working on ourselves. We're having ups and downs just like anybody else. We're taking our own advice and working on it day by day, and same with Adam. He's working on his stuff every day. None of us are perfect. We're like pieces of art. We're always working on ourselves. Like, you're touching it up, you're changing something, whatever it is. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah. And you guys, I have about 2 minutes left here, so I have to wrap up this podcast. But you guys understand this. Yep. Really, really quick. I just want to wrap up this podcast and say, you guys, just get in a men's group and find your deepest wound, as I said earlier in the episode. Discover your masculine purpose, follow your own lead. More importantly, do positive self-talk and listen to what Shane said too, because this guy knows his shit. And check out Dating for Late Bloomers. Go check out that podcast, you guys.
Yeah, and nothing else, reach out to, like I said, mentors, friends. Reach out to Adam, reach out to me. You can reach out to me. Just don't be afraid. Don't swallow your pride. It's okay. We all need help sometimes. So.
Exactly. Love it. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll see you guys on the next episode. Thank you for coming to the Masculine Mindset Show, Shane. I appreciate you guys for listening to the Masculine Mindset Show with my man Shane. Do me a favor, you guys, and check out this man's podcast, Dating for the Late Bloomers. And lastly, please leave me a 5-star review with words behind it. Leave me some love. And honestly, if you're going to give me a 4-star, just skip it, okay? I appreciate the good feedback. And lastly, you guys, just understand that in the near future, I will be coming out with my book. Keep coming back. I appreciate you. See you on the next episode.